This afternoon, as has been reported, there was a civil complaint, civilian complaint in the town of Duane. There was a gunshot that was fired at a camping trailer. The state police responded to investigate the complaint. They came upon a cabin. They went inside the cabin. They detected the smell of gunpowder. The law enforcement partners were then notified, and the Customs and Border Patrol tactical team helicoptered in and approached the site. The team came upon Matt, who was an escaped prisoner from Dannemora, engaged Mr. Matt, who was armed, and Mr. Matt was shot and killed. We have no reason to believe that Mr. Sweat was not with Mr. Matt at the time, but we don't have any confirming evidence that he was either. There are several leads that are being tracked down as we speak about Mr. Sweat and his possible whereabouts, but we don't have anything to confirm where Mr. Sweat is at this time. I want to thank New Yorkers. I want to thank the people of Clinton County and Franklin County who have put up with a lot over these past 20 days. We've had over 2,300 leads, so New Yorkers have been very helpful in responding to put an end to this crisis. I want to thank our partners in law enforcement who have done an extraordinary job, our local partners, our federal partners who have been away from their homes and their families to come here and help us over these past 3 weeks or so. You never want to see anyone lose their life. But I would remind people that Mr. Matt was an escaped murderer from a state prison. Mr. Matt killed 2 people who we know about. Mr. Matt killed his boss in a dispute and dismembered him. He fled to Mexico, and then he killed another person in Mexico and was imprisoned in Mexico. Mr. Sweat is also dangerous. Mr. Sweat was involved in the killing of a sheriff's deputy in Broome County, where the sheriff's deputy had come upon a crime. Mr. Sweat and his accomplices hit the sheriff's deputy with the car, got out and shot him 22 times, and then ran over him. So these are dangerous, dangerous men. And that's why you see law enforcement from across this country arrayed before you today, cooperating with one mission: to bring these gentlemen to justice. I'm now going to turn it over to Superintendent Joseph D'Amico, who's head of the state police, which has been heading up the investigation in cooperation with our partners. I would remind everyone that this is an ongoing investigation, so the amount of information that can be provided to the public is something that we have to watch carefully. Obviously, we don't want to give the people we're pursuing any more information than we need to. With that, Superintendent Joseph D'Amico.
Thank you, Governor. So I just wanted to take a second and bring you back to how we got into this area searching where we discovered Matt today. So as you recall, we had a report of a burglary last Saturday where we were able to identify property left at the scene by Matt, and we deployed heavily in that area. That burglary was was in a camp about 3 miles off of any paved roadway. Wednesday night, late Wednesday night, we received a report of a break-in of a cabin off Route 41 in the town of Malone. A screen had been cut and a window was broken into. We responded up. We recovered evidence from that break-in, which also indicated that Matt was present at that scene. So we, late yesterday, we deployed a number of uniform officers and tactical teams up to that area and started to establish a fairly wide grid for searching. Into today, we were able to confirm that property recovered at the scene was in fact Matt this morning. Late morning, we discovered through search teams what we believed to be a camp where maybe somebody had laid down. We found candy wrappers and some other things that were left behind that was all seized. And so we had a fairly aggressive search in the area today. And about 1:51 today, we received the report that a camper, a person towing a camper, believed that their camper had been shot. Originally, they had heard a sound. They thought maybe they had a flat. They got out. They realized they didn't have a flat. They drove on about 8 miles, and when they pulled into a campsite, they examined the trailer that they were towing and realized that there was a bullet hole through the back of the camper. So based on that, they notified state police. We responded and realized that the location of the shooting was probably about 8 miles back. And as the governor indicated, we deployed teams from multiple agencies to that area. We were able to get into the cabin where we discovered the smell of gunpowder and realized that a weapon had been fired. Also, there was indication that someone recently had been there and had fled out the back door. As we were doing the ground search in the area, there was movement detected by officers on the ground, what they believed to be coughs, so they knew they were dealing with humans as opposed to wildlife. And a tactical team from Customs and Border Protection met up with Matt in the woods, challenged him, and he was shot dead by Border Patrol at that time. We recovered a 20-gauge shotgun from Matt's body at the location. Based on that, we continue to search. We have a lot of people in the area. We have canines, and we have a decent perimeter set up, and we're searching for Sweat at this time. We have no actual sighting of Sweat by law enforcement, but we have no indication that Sweat wasn't accompanying Matt at the time that he was shot and killed. So we're going to maintain the perimeter that we have, continue to do a good ground search, just as we have in the last couple of days, a tactic that's been successful for us in law enforcement. And until such time as we receive other information, we'll be doing a very thorough search. We've followed up on in excess of 2,400 leads at this time. We take every one of them serious. We thank the public for the tips that they've called in. And just as the governor said, I'd like to thank all my law enforcement partners who stand here with me today. A tremendous effort on the ground over the last 3 weeks.